language. It's a wrong way.
Production. We use this word for production also in production.
Production.
Yes, we use this word for production also.
To yield is to give way.
Give way.
To yield. To surrender, in a sense.
Surrender.
He yielded. I surrender. He yielded. In other words, what they're saying here is his job was to give the right of way. The first driver, the other driver, should have been able to go forward. This driver failed to step back and let the other car go because the right of way was the right of the other car to go. This car, for example, should have come up and stopped. The sign was right there. Yield or stop. He didn't do it. He kept going. And the driver that did have the right of way was hit. So this driver would be at fault. When the police came, they would say to this driver, you failed to yield the right of way. You caused the accident. Whoa.
Yield is mean control.
What's that?
Is it mean control you?
No, yield means to surrender or give way. To go back, to say that you can go forward. I will stand back. You go, I stay. Once you go, then I go. Yield. He yielded, he surrendered, he gave up. Or in this case, give way. Give the right of way to the cars that are on the other road. You'll see signs on the highways, Y-E-L-D, something like that. Yield. Ooh. Then when it's clear, then you go. But you just don't drive right through, because then you'll end up colliding and having an accident. You failed to yield. Any questions about the words and pronunciation? Collided, collided, intersection, yield, failed, failed, ailed, failed, failed. And be careful, not the light of way, but the right of way. Right, right, right. He turned on the right light. Right light. He didn't turn on the wrong light. He turned on the right light. Right light. Any other questions? Yield, give way. He yielded. Any other questions about the words? Light, right. Collided. Collided. Injuries. Injured, ED. Injuries. There's an S at the end, injuries. Minor injuries, in other words, there were more than one injury. There were several injuries. There were several injuries. Any other questions? Are you sure? Are you positive? Yield. Serious. Minor collision. Colliding. Witness. Okay, let's see, we're down to the last one here.
Don't talking, don't talking. This here, simple.
When I returned from my trip, I had a number of chores to do around my home. I spent 2 hours cleaning and dusting. I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume. When I returned from my trip, I had a number of chores to do around my home. I spent 2 hours cleaning and dusting. I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume. Go ahead.
When I returned from my trip, I had a number of chores to do around my home. I spent 2 hours cleaning and dusting. I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume.
Right. I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume. I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume. Okay, go ahead.
When I returned from my trip, I had a number of chores to do around my home. I spent 2 hours cleaning and dusting. I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume.
Right, very good. I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume. Return, requested, and resume. Okay, go ahead.
When I from my trip, I had a number of chores to do around my home. I spent 2 hours cleaning and dusting.
I called
I called the local newspaper and
requested that delivery resume. That delivery resume. Okay.
When I returned from my trip, I had a number of chores to do around my home. I spent 2 hours cleaning and dusting. I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume.
Right, very good. I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume. 2 hours of cleaning. 2 hours of cleaning. Okay, go ahead.
When I returned from my trip, I had a number of chores to do around my home. I spent 2 hours cleaning and dusting. I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume.
I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume. Okay, go ahead.
When I returned from my trip, I had a number of chores to do around my home. I spent 2 hours cleaning and dusting. I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume.
Right, very good. I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume. Right.
When I returned from my trip, I had a number of chores to do around my home. I spent 2 hours cleaning and dusting, I called the local newspaper and requested that the delivery be soon.
Right, I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume. Okay, sir.
When I returned for my trip, I have a number of chores to do around my home. I spent 2 hours cleaning and dusting. I called the local newspaper and requested that the paper resume.
That delivery resumes. Delivery resumes. Go ahead.
When I returned from my trip, I had a number of chores to do around my home. I spent 2 hours cleaning and dusting. I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume.
Right, I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume. Okay, go ahead.
When I returned from my trip, I had a number of chores to do around my home. I spent 2 hours cleaning and dusting. I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume.
Right, very good. Requested that delivery resume. Delivery resume. Okay.
When I returned from my trip, I had a number of chores to do around my home. I spent 2 hours cleaning and dusting. I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume.
Right, okay, very good. I called and requested that delivery resume. Okay, go ahead.
When I returned from my trip, I had a number of tasks to do around my home. I spent 2 hours cleaning and dusting. I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume.
Right, very good. Good job. Okay, go ahead.
When I returned from my trip, I had a number of chores to do around my home. I spent 2 hours cleaning and dusting. I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume.
I requested that delivery resume. Number of chores. I had a number of chores. And one of them was cleaning, and dusting. Okay, go ahead.
When I returned from my trip, I had a number of chores to do around my home. I spent 2 hours cleaning and dusting. I called the local newspaper and requested that delivery resume.
That delivery return. Not return it. Return. just a slight dip. But that puts it from the present to the past. And try to avoid returned or requested. Well, requested is a little different. But returned, called, returned, called. Okay, go ahead.
When I returned from my trip, I had a number of chores to do around my home. I spent 2 hours cleaning and dusting. I called the local newspaper and requested that deliveries resume.
Right, very good, very good. So there you have it. So when I came back from my trip, I returned, I came back, I had a number of chores to do. What is a chore?
Small.
A small little job, a little something I had to take care of, a little chore. And the chores in this case around my home, in my house, in my home. So I spent 2 hours cleaning, fixing everything up, putting everything back, dusting. These were 2 chores that I had to do. And the third chore, in this case, was that I called the local newspaper, the company that handles the newspapers in my neighborhood, so to speak. So I called them on the phone and said, I'm back. Yes, I'm back. Would you start to deliver the paper tomorrow morning? Yes, sir. We'll take care of it. We'll have the delivery boy. Will be there at 5 a.m. Oh, thank you very much. So I requested, I asked that delivery, the bringing of the newspaper now every day, every morning, resume. It was stopped. Then there was the period that I was away, and it would start again. It would resume. Start again. I requested that the newspaper be delivered starting tomorrow. Please resume delivery. Any questions about that, the pronunciation? Chore, return, delivery, resume, call, local, trip. Always end the word, in this case it's trip. Ship, lip, rip, there's a million of them. You can go on all day. Any questions about the words, meaning, and pronunciation? Sure. Not sure. Chore. There's another word, sure. Share, but this is chore. Not sure. There's a lot of things you can practice doing yourself, and that's one of them. Sure, and chore. Now remember, we discussed resume yesterday, but when you change it, it becomes resume, which is a whole different world. And a whole different language in it.
รองเท้าปีใหม่ของเราใครร้องแต่งน้องชื่ออะไรใส่น้องเสียงมาเริ่มที่สตอร์ต่อที่มีแต่งน้องเป็นรถชั่วโมงน้องนะเรื่องโบยเติมมาไอ้น้องใส่ไม่ใช่รู้คนอะไรอย่างเงี้ยที่บนน่ะบนน่ะไม่ใช่หน่วยที่อยู่ร้านอาหารอีกร้องเพลงก็นี่สิเก่งสุดมีเนื้อเป็นปึกก็บอกที่นี่เอาเนื้อสิ่งที่วันเนาะเพลงฝรั่งก็ลงแต่ตรงนี้เอาเนื้อไม่หน่อยเนื้อเพลงมาวันนี้ไม่มาวันก่อนเป็นว่าคนที่มีพลังนะอยากร้องมาแค่ไหนขอI don't speak English ร้องสื่อในยูทูบให้ร้องก็คือเลยนะร้องในห้องห้องเรียนช่างห้องน้ำอาบน้ำไปฝั่งร้องเพลงเสร็จหมดแล้วก็หัวที่นี่ไม่ร้องเพลงไทยบริษัทไม่ได้ฟังเพลงไทยไม่ร้องไม่ได้ฟังร้องต้องฟังให้เขาเองเป็นจะร้องได้โอ้เพลงนี้คือแล้วอยู่ที่นี่นะร้องเพลงนายกแต่ถ้าที่ตั้งใจที่งานร้องได้ก็จะร้องได้ไม่ได้เห็นไหมว่าเขาสร้างเด็กแล้วมาโอ้ยคนเดียวคนไม่ไหวที่จะทำอะไรเขียนไม่ขนาดนี้ไม่ใช่ดูเขียนโอ้เอาถูกเราจะเรียกเป็นปาก
Okay. The lawyer left his office at 11 o'clock to meet his client for lunch at a nearby Italian restaurant. As he was walking along the street, a woman a few feet in front of him tripped and fell to the sidewalk. The lawyer went to her aid and helped her up. The lawyer left his office at 11 o'clock to meet his client for lunch at a nearby Italian restaurant. As he was walking along the street, a woman a few feet in front of him tripped and fell to the sidewalk. The lawyer went to her aid and helped her up. Okay.
The lawyer left his office at 11 o'clock to meet his client for lunch at a nearby Italian restaurant. As he was walking along the street, a woman a few feet in front of him tripped and fell to the sidewalk. The lawyer went to her aid and helped her up.
Right, very good. The lawyer left his office at 11 o'clock to meet his client for lunch at a nearby Italian restaurant. Okay, go ahead.
The lawyer left his office at 11 o'clock to meet his client for lunch at a nearby Italian restaurant. As he was walking along the street, a woman a few feet in front of him tripped and fell to the sidewalk. The lawyer went to her aid and helped her up.
Right, very good. As he was walking along the street, a woman a few feet in front of him tripped and fell to the sidewalk. Go ahead.
to meet his
Client.
and his returned for lunch at an Italian restaurant. As she was walking along the street, a woman threw fish in front of him, tips and fell to the sidewalk. The lawyer went to their house and helped her up.
Right, very good. The lawyer went to her aid and helped her up. Go ahead.
The lawyer left his office at 11 o'clock to meet his client for lunch at the nearby Italian restaurant. As he was walking along the street, a woman a few feet in front of him tripped and fell to the sidewalk. The lawyer went to her aid and helped her up.
Right, very good. That's very good. Meet his client for lunch at a nearby Italian restaurant. As he was walking along the street, a woman a few feet in front of him tripped and fell to the sidewalk. Go
The
ahead.
lawyer left his office at 11 o'clock to meet his client. His
Client.
His client for lunch at a nearby Italian restaurant. As he was walking along the street, moving a few feet in front of his trip and fell to sidewalk. The lawyer went to her aid and helped her up.
Helped not held her up. Helped. Okay.
Teacher, hereby you miss the R, letter R.
Oh, okay. Wanted to see if anybody was awake. Okay.
The lawyer left his office at 11 o'clock to meet his client for lunch at a nearby Italian restaurant. As he was walking along the street, a woman a few feet in front of him tripped and fell to the sidewalk. The lawyer went to her aid and helped her up.
And helped her up. Yes, very good. Go ahead.
The lawyer left his office at 11 o'clock to meet his client for lunch at a nearby Italian restaurant. As he was walking around the street, a woman a few feet in front of him tripped and fell to the sidewalk. The lawyer went to her aid and helped her up.
Right, very good. To meet his client for lunch at a nearby Italian restaurant. Okay, sir.
The lawyer fell his office at 11 o'clock to meet his client from lunch at a nearby Italian restaurant. As he was walking along the street,